Sure. I mean, no country is exactly in the same situation in Vietnam. No country is a blank page. When you start, you've all got commitments to existing mixes of energy already in the system. And so it's a question, as Mr. Took said, of what additional and incremental supply you get. So in some countries' case, it takes a real disaster to provoke a change of direction. Look at Japan. It took Fukushima before they started to devote 32 cents a kilowatt hour for a feed-in tariff in Japan. In China, it was more of a slow realization that they were choking themselves to death, and they're really creating an environmental disaster before they got serious about renewables. So, but you know, having watched those experiences, I think Vietnam's already taken away some lessons about what it needs to do and the importance of moving towards more renewables. If you look at Denmark, California, where I come, Australia, they all had heavy feed-in tariffs at the beginning, but now they're basically going away from them. Yeah, so it's quite interesting that the market is working and that the price of renewables has come down so much. One thing that's unique, I think, to Vietnam is, well, there's two things. First of all, we do have commitments to coal. We've got government guarantees, we've got take-or-pay agreements with producers, IPPs. We cannot just walk away from those. That would be terrible for the country's credit reputation. But at the same time, we're seeing more and more of the global supply chain and manufacturing coming into Vietnam. And that manufacturing wants not just cheap labor, they will also want cheap electricity. That's a major factor, whether you're producing socks or semiconductors. Cheap electricity is a factor we hear investors talking about when they come in. Now, when you're talking about coal versus renewables, the government, from a policy point of view, if it wants to encourage the manufacturers to create jobs and relocate here, then it can encourage more. It has more flexibility with renewables than it does for traditional carbon-based fuels. Why? The WTO rules that Vietnam is bound to in terms of subsidies allow for more flexibility where there's a subsidy intended to protect human health or the environment. So anything that's done to move industry in the direction of cleaner manufacturing will be, you know, a yellow light subsidy or even a green light subsidy under the WTO rules. So that's one element that the government has more flexibility to do what it needs to do to continue this manufacturing shift to Vietnam.